So something that I have thought about or just kind of understood since, well, for as long as I can remember, is the idea that everything is and it also isn't. And I guess, yeah, it's a difficult concept to describe, right? It's like when you look around, everything is and it also isn't. So, like, think about Schrodinger's cat. If you're familiar with quantum physics, right? It's like the idea of quantum physics is that reality is malleable through the lens of the observer. So when something gets observed, it can change simply as a result of it being observed. So one thing that I think is really interesting, when I was getting my psychology degree, we talked a lot about how to do psychology research without the person really knowing that they were part of the research, right? Because once you know that you're part of a study, you may behave differently. So then it gives us, well, they say it gives us less insight on the human condition because now that behavior is not natural. However, I think it actually gives us more insight into the human condition of the fact that, like, when a human is being observed, their behavior might be different. And it's the same thing with your reality. Whatever you're looking at, whatever you are observing, you are now involved. You are now entangled with that thing that's being observed. So your perceptions, your realities, your beliefs cannot be separated from what you are observing because you are observing it through those lenses. So something that I think is really important to understand is that reality is malleable and it exists in multiple forms, constantly fluctuating and moving and grooving and whatever. And it's like the whole like concept of like if a tree falls in the forest when no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Arguably, yes, it does, right? You can put something to record it there to record it and then be like, well, there's not a human here. This recording picked up the sound of the tree falling, so it must make a sound. There's some experiments in quantum psychology where the observer is a robot, and what they're doing is they're observing matter as either a particle or a wave, right? So we have this concept that matter can exist as either a particle or a wave. Well, quantum physics talks about how it actually exists as both and neither until it is observed and given form and becomes something. So this is why I think like energy work can be so difficult for people because it's something that they can't see and their general five senses like aren't picking up on it. And you do have to tap into other senses to be able to understand the energetic, ethereal space that is existing underneath. And it just reminds me that everything is and it isn't at the same time. So I think maybe I started to touch on it but didn't finish. The Schrodinger's cat is a concept in quantum physics where there is a cat inside of a box or a bag, whatever it was, a box, I think. And the whole point is that the cat is both alive and dead until somebody looks into the box. And then it is given a form. It has been observed. It has now become part of the reality. So yeah, take that with what you will. I have not been able to separate myself from that concept for most of my life. And I know that it has really like kind of stopped up the gears for a lot of people when they sit with it for a bit. But yeah, everything is and it isn't at the same time. And we like to think that our world is like black and white. It's like this or that, but it's like black and white, and it's both and it's neither. And it's both and it's neither, and it's both and it's neither. And it's just so fun, right? Like I don't know. I kind of think like a lot of people are stuck on the like, is the earth flat? Is it round? Is it flat? Is it round? And like for some reason I've never been able to shake this feeling that it's like if you took a jack and you spin the jack on the table and the jack is going and it's going and it doesn't fall over, but it's not flat and it's not round, and it has this shape that allows it to rotate on these axes, and it creates a world around it while it's spinning. It creates this sort of field, this energetic field that shows up. And I've just never been able to shake that energy when somebody's like talking about flat earth or round earth or like whatever. And part of that's because I don't just take science for like face value. I think it's interesting. I think it's fun to follow along, even like quantum physics. It's fun to understand what is being studied there. But at the same time, I think that science is really only just one lens that you can observe the planet through, and it doesn't account for extrasensory things. So I think once we can adopt more of a sense of like we're not just this physical form, and that we need our consciousness and our being, our soul, our energy to show up in order to really create form, I think that things are going to just be a little bit different in the world. People are going to understand how to work with energy more, and they're going to understand how to hold a more vast view of how our planet works and what is possible for us. So, yeah, everything is and it isn't. And if you have thoughts about that, I would love to hear them. And if you have anything to add to it, please, like, let's talk about this concept because I think it's so interesting and it has literally been with me since I was a child. So here it is. Everything is and it isn't at the same time.